And Josh McDowell, everybody knows, is like a renowned apologist. And this man, he writes in his book, like, there are 3 areas I prayed that day. First area was, I was a very restless man, he said. Like, I can't sit peacefully. I need to do something. I had a battle in my mind. I had a conflict in my mind. I had a spirit of restlessness in my mind. And that day I prayed, Lord, you have your peace come into my life. And Josh McDowell says, after I became a believer, eventually God gave me a peace that surpasses understanding. I am no more a restless person. God changed me. I am a better person than before. Second thing he said is, I had a very bad temper. I was an angry person. He says, if you look at my body, I have very many scars in my body because of the kind of anger that I had in my life. But I surrendered my anger to God, and eventually God took away that anger and brought His soberness into my life. Like, I saw I'm a changed person, and God changes people. God is able to change people on the inside out, and we can believe that. Like, God can change me and you, like He did with, like, temper. I got victory over temper. Mental peace, I got mental peace instead of restlessness. And the final thing he said is, I would hate people like anything. This is Josh McDowell. Like, when people, like, I don't get along with people, I would hate them. Like, I would have like hatred and unforgiveness and bitterness. I would hate them to the core. And one person I hated the most was my father. Like, he was an alcoholic, and he would beat my mom, and my friends would make fun of my dad. So whenever I would call my friends home, I would actually take my dad to another room and tie him up so that my friends wouldn't see him. And when they asked about my dad, I was so embarrassed about my dad, I would say he's gone out. And this is the kind, I had hatred in my life, and one person I hated the most was my father. But after Jesus came into my life, He changed me. I started loving my father. I did things that really blew him up. It's like I just started loving him. And my hatred was turned into love. And Jesus did that. One time he met with an accident. And he also said, after he became a Christian, he also went and whispered to his dad, Dad, I love you. Dad, I love you. And he knew he couldn't do it without Christ coming into his life. One day he met with an accident, and he was in his hospital bed. His dad actually opened the door of he came into the hospital room where Josh McDowell was, and he came and sat next to him. And he told Josh McDowell, Josh, how could you ever love a person like me? How could you ever love a father like me? You should be hating me. But I see like you love me so much. How could you do that? And Josh McDowell, with tears in his eyes, says like, so and so did. Dad, I received Christ into my life. Christ came into my life. And Christ did the change. The love I gave you, it's because of this exchange, Dad. From then I started loving you. God gave me the special love for you. My hatred was turned into love. And the father said, that very day, son, if Christ could do that for you, He can do that for me. And that day itself, in the hospital room, his father gave his life to Jesus. And isn't that amazing? Like, his father gave his life because of love. We are, what is Christ doing? We are better than before. We hear of Him, and our weariness is gone. We become better than Him spiritually, better than before spiritually, emotionally, materialistically, physically. God is making us better than before.